Anatolian Shepherd or Kangal. Anatolia is a region made up of high plateaus, 1000 m altitude on average, in Turkey. The climate is continental, that is to say very hot in summer and very cold in winter. Large Molossoid-type dogs have been guarding flocks of sheep mainly against wolves for millennia. The Turks call them the Kangal, from the name of a village, the Westerners, the Anatolian Shepherd. Morphology. Average lifespan, 10 to 12 years. The males measure from 74 cm to 81 cm, the females from 71 cm to 79 cm, plus or 4 cm. Their weight varies from 50 to 70 kg. The hair is short or half long, well supplied with undercoat. Their color is sand to light steel gray, but all colors are allowed by the FCI standard, most often with a black mask but not necessarily. Character. Its primary use is to protect the herd against predators. It deters possible threats from entering the security perimeter. It will directly confront the predator. This atavism is very powerful and the discernment with which it exercises it is remarkable. It will be in this case ruthless with the intruders. A Kangal is not happy in a kennel or tied up. He needs space. This dog is not suitable for living in an apartment, nor in a small plot. The Kangal is frank and constant. In the family he is calm, gentle, patient and very safe. He is affectionate while being independent. He can stay alone at home without any problem. When his master is absent, no stranger can enter his territory. It is essential to have a well-fenced plot to give him his limits. If not, without being a runaway, he will expand his territory to neighboring properties and defend everything who's in it. During his youth, he tends to be turbulent. He needs activity. To discover his new place of life, he must spend his energy. During this period it can be destructive. Adulthood comes around 2 years. If you respect your dog, if you are in harmony with him, he will bring you a lot of happiness. On a walk, he can stay close to you, then suddenly disappear. It's often too late to call him back. He remains deaf to your calls. On the other hand, he never takes his eyes off his master and will return after a few minutes, which is why during a walk in a frequented place, it is preferable to keep him on a leash or on a lanyard. Outside, the males have an unfortunate tendency to want to impose themselves on the other males. Two Kangals never rest at the same time. If one sleeps, the other watches. Guard is innate with him. He is not the type to get excited unnecessarily, but he will bark to warn you of a presence. On the other hand, if nothing bothers him, he will remain calmly lying down, while inspecting the property from time to time. He is attached to his family but relatively wary of strangers. Once the stranger has been accepted by his master, the Kangal can be friendly or reserved but without ceasing to watch him. You will sometimes have to put it aside momentarily for its tranquility and yours in the event of visits from friends with turbulent children. It is a guard dog and like all dogs of this type, it can misinterpret a gesture coming from strangers. He is not timid, he is a well-balanced and self-confident dog. He has the ability to keep control of his emotions. That's why he doesn't bite easily. It will be the last solution he will consider after using deterrence. When it comes to socializing with fellow dogs, early socialization is essential. On his territory, the presence of another animal will not pose a problem, if he considers that it is normal. On the other hand, he hates provocation and will react immediately. Outside, the males have an unfortunate tendency to want to impose themselves on the other males. In a pack, the Kangal likes stability. If the status of each is clear, they will not be inclined to clashes. He has been selected for years to make the right decisions himself. He may seem stubborn when it is a quality to ensure his function. His ease of understanding and adaptation will surprise his master. He is a very intelligent dog. He is quite adept at taking action and taking action if necessary. He is very vigilant, observant and analyzes events. It is a quality of herd protector. Education. The Kangal must be brought up respecting his temperament. It should be remembered that the Kangal has an independent character, which does not facilitate obedience. He needs a rigorous but not restrictive education. He understands very quickly what you want from him, but only responds to it if he has nothing more important to do, in his view of course. It takes a lot of patience to persuade him to do what is asked of him. The classic education methods are not adapted to this type of dog. The learning is done day by remaining firm only on the essential things. He does not know the concept of games with his master. With some exceptions, all he will do is only to please you. Recall learning is done daily, based on trust and not on tedious work sessions. If he returns quickly to the reminder, it is because nothing else interests him. If this is not the case, the worst attitude would be to get upset. You have to keep calm in all circumstances. Good behavior must be rewarded. Punishment must be given only by the intonation of the voice or an unequivocal bodily attitude. It must be provided with something to occupy itself when it is young, otherwise it will destroy what is within its reach. If the puppy does not do things as you wish, he is not trying to compete with you, he has not understood what you are asking him. You have to stay calm, the prohibitions must be constant. You cannot grant certain things one day and prohibit them the next day, he will not understand the exception. The degree of obedience varies according to the skill of the master. Above all, do not solve problems with brutality. The dog will remember this in adulthood. Brutality on such a dog can only lead to a conflicting relationship. It is essential to obtain his confidence, which will be reinforced by an unfailing complicity. His education is based on great observation. You have to ask little of him to get a lot.